Hello everyone. Welcome back. Today we are going to learn a new chapter called Panchayati Raj. This chapter is from Local Government and Administration. It is from Class 6 Social and Political Life, Unit 3. In this lesson we will learn how villages are governed, how people take decisions together, and how democracy works at the village level through panchayats. Now let us begin with an important question. How are decisions taken after elections? After elections, people choose their representatives. That means villagers elect leaders like the sarpanch and panches. But elections are not the end. The main question is, who decides what work should be done in the village? In villages, people do not depend only on leaders. They also take part directly in decision-making. This happens through a special meeting called the Gram Sabha. Now let us understand what the Gram Sabha is and who can be a part of it. The Gram Sabha is a meeting of all adults living in the Panchayat area. This means every person who is 18 years or above can attend the Gram Sabha. But there is one more condition. The person should have the right to vote, which means they should be a registered voter. The Gram Sabha is not limited to only one village. Sometimes it includes one village, and sometimes it includes two or more villages, depending on the Panchayat area. So, we can say that the Gram Sabha is the place where ordinary villagers directly participate in village decision-making. Now let us understand why the Gram Sabha is considered the most powerful meeting in the village. The Gram Sabha is important because it gives people the right to speak. Here, villagers can sit together and discuss village problems. They can also ask questions to elected representatives like the sarpanch and panches. For example, why is the road not repaired? Why is the water supply not working? The Gram Sabha also approves the plans made by the Gram Panchayat. So the Panchayat cannot take big decisions without the Gram Sabha. This meeting helps keep leaders answerable and responsible. That is why Gram Sabha is very important in village democracy. Now let's look at a real example of a Gram Sabha meeting in a village called Hardas. In Hardas village, the Gram Sabha meeting happens after Panchayat elections. This is the first meeting, so people are very excited. They want to know what plans the new Panchayat will make for the village. The sarpanch and panches sit together and present proposals for development. During this meeting, people discuss the most important village problems. In Hardas, the main issues are 1. Roads, 2. Water. So through this example, we understand that Gram Sabha is a place where people and leaders meet, discuss, and decide together. Now let us understand the biggest problem faced by the people of Hardas village. In Hardas village, the water level is going down every year. Because of this, the hand pumps are not giving enough water. This creates a big difficulty for villagers, especially women. Women have to walk almost 3 kilometers just to bring drinking water. So, we can understand that this is not a small issue. It is a serious and urgent problem that needs an immediate solution. Now let's see what solutions the villagers suggested in the Gram Sabha meeting. During the discussion, people suggested different ideas. Some villagers said that the hand pumps should be deepened so that more water can come. Some people suggested cleaning the village wells. Others said water should be brought through pipes from the nearby river. But one important point came up. All these are short-term solutions. For a long-term solution, the villagers suggested watershed development, because it can solve the problem for many years. Now let us understand what watershed development means in simple words. Watershed development is a method to conserve water and recharge groundwater. It helps in storing rainwater and allowing it to go into the ground slowly. In this method, trees are planted, check dams and tanks are built. These stop water from flowing away quickly. Instead, water gets stored and helps increase groundwater levels. The government also provides funds for such projects, so that villages can improve their water supply in a permanent way. Now let's learn how the panchayat is formed in a village. A village is divided into small areas called wards. Each ward elects one representative. This ward representative is called a ward member or panch. After that, all the ward members together elect a leader called the sarpanch. So we can say, panches plus sarpanch equals Gram Panchayat. This is the basic structure of the panchayat at the village level. Now let us understand the role and working of the Gram Panchayat. The Gram Panchayat is an elected body. It is elected for a term of 5 years. It works for all the villages that come under it. It looks after village development and solves local problems. But the Gram Panchayat does not have full freedom. Its decisions must be approved by the Gram Sabha. Also, the Gram Panchayat meets regularly to discuss village work and take decisions. So, it works like a village government. Now let us learn about an important person who helps the Panchayat in its work, the Panchayat Secretary. The Panchayat Secretary is appointed by the government. This means he is not elected by the villagers. His job is to support the Gram Panchayat in official work. He calls meetings of the Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat. He also keeps records of all decisions. For example, he writes down what was discussed and what was decided in meetings. So, the Panchayat Secretary helps in maintaining proper documentation and smooth functioning. Now let us understand what work the Gram Panchayat actually does in the village. The Gram Panchayat is responsible for village development. It works mainly for construction and maintenance of important facilities like roads, water sources, a drainage system, school buildings. Apart from this, it also collects local taxes from villagers. This money is used for village works. The Gram Panchayat also implements government schemes. For example, schemes related to housing, pensions, toilets, and employment. So overall, the Gram Panchayat plays a major role in improving village life. Now the next question is, how does the Panchayat get money for all these works? The Panchayat needs money to build roads, repair drains, and improve water facilities. So, it gets funds from different sources. The first source is house tax and market tax. The second source is money given by the government for schemes. It also gets funds through higher Panchayat levels like Janpad Panchayat, Azila Panchayat. Sometimes people also give donations for community work. So these are the main sources of Panchayat funds. Now let's understand an important issue where the Gram Sabha plays a big role. The BPL list. BPL means below poverty line. The BPL list contains the names of families who are poor and need government support. The Gram Sabha has the power to approve the BPL list. But sometimes problems happen. Some rich people may get included wrongly, and some poor families may get excluded. In such cases, villagers raise objections openly in the Gram Sabha meeting. This helps in correcting the list and ensuring fairness. Now let us understand why we say the Gram Sabha has the real power. The Gram Sabha is powerful because it keeps a check on the Gram Panchayat. It prevents misuse of money and resources. It also stops favoritism, meaning leaders cannot support only their friends or relatives. The Gram Sabha keeps watch on leaders and their work. Because villagers ask questions and demand answers, the elected representatives become more responsible. So, we can say the Gram Sabha is like the voice of the people and the real strength of village democracy. Now let us understand the 3 levels of Panchayati Raj in India. Panchayati Raj is not only at the village level. It works in 3 levels so that village problems can reach higher authorities. The first level is Gram Panchayat, which works at the village level. This is the basic unit of local government. The second level is Panchayat Samiti, also called Janpad Panchayat. It works at the block level and connects many villages together. The third level is Zila Parishad, which works at the district level. It looks after development work for the whole district. So these 3 levels help in proper planning and development from village to district. Now let's see why people's participation is the heart of Panchayati Raj. Panchayati Raj is successful only when people take part actively. Here, villagers participate in meetings, discuss problems, and give suggestions. Because of this, leaders have to answer to the people. They cannot work according to their own wish. This is how democracy works from the grassroots level, meaning from the lowest level of society, the village. So, Panchayati Raj helps people feel that the government is their own. Now let us quickly understand the key learning points of this chapter. The most important point is that Gram Sabha is the foundation of democracy in villages. It gives people the right to speak and take part in decisions. The Gram Panchayat works under the Gram Sabha. It cannot take major decisions without Gram Sabha approval. In this system, people's voice matters. When people participate, decisions become better, fairer, and more useful for everyone. So, participation leads to strong democracy and better village development. Now let us revise the chapter in a very simple way. Gram Sabha is the meeting of all adults in the village. Gram Panchayat is the elected body that works for village development. In Panchayati Raj, decisions are taken together. And most importantly, the power lies with the people. So, this chapter teaches us how democracy works at the village level. Now before we end, let us think and answer these important questions. First question. Why is Gram Sabha important? Second question. Should everyone attend it? Why? Third question. How does it control the Panchayat? These questions help us understand the real meaning of democracy. If people attend Gram Sabha and speak up, leaders will work honestly and properly. That's it for now. Thank you.